Deep within the dense forests of Oregon lay Blackwood Creek, a town the outside world knew little about. Elias, an investigative journalist who had zero faith in the supernatural, arrived there to solve a mystery. Every year, several tourists vanished from the nearby forest. The strangest part was that no trace of these missing people was ever found, except for their shoes. Those shoes would be found in a perfect circle in the middle of the woods, neatly tied and placed as if someone had stepped out of them with great care. When Elias arrived at a small local inn, the atmosphere was thick with silence. The innkeeper warned him not to head toward the forest after sunset. He claimed that the trees there behaved like humans, and that when the wind blew, they spoke in the voices of those who never returned. Elias dismissed these stories as local folklore and superstition. He grabbed his camera and headed into the forest during the evening twilight. As he ventured deeper, the towering pine trees seemed to close in around him. The air grew colder, and the chirping of birds suddenly stopped. Elias felt as though he was being watched, but every time he turned around he saw nothing but motionless trees. Then a scent hit him, a mixture of old wood and decaying hide. He reached a clearing where hundreds of shoes were arranged on the ground. Some were vintage boots, while others were brand new sneakers. Suddenly, a voice broke the silence. It was the voice of Elias's sister, who had died in an accident years ago. The sound was coming from the very tops of the trees. She was calling his name, telling him to come up because it was peaceful there. Elias's heart raced. He shone his flashlight upward, and what he saw froze his blood. The branches above were not made of wood. They looked like human limbs that had become impossibly long and thin. Within the bark of the trees, human faces were partially submerged, their eyes closed but their mouths wide open. As the wind passed through them, it created the voices he heard. Elias tried to run, but he felt his feet sinking into the earth. His skin began to harden, and its color slowly turned into the texture of rough bark. His final scream turned into a mere gust of wind. He looked at his hands, which were now stretching into branches. For the last time, he looked down at the ground where his shoes sat, neatly placed. He had become part of the forest, another tree that would now call out to the next victim using their own voice.